The risks and challenges for solar between now and 2020 are as follows. First, there are a number of regulatory headwinds in the market that were not present more than a year ago. Last year, solar had to contend with three problems. One was the tax laws were in the process of being rewritten, so no one knew what the U.S. tax code would say ultimately. Second, Energy Secretary Rick Perry wanted to dispatch coal and nuclear plants in places like PJM ahead of renewables. And third, there was a threat of solar tariffs. All three of those things are now behind us. We know how they ended up. But now there are two new ones on the horizon. More tariffs. Trump is slapping tariffs on steel and aluminum, which will affect solar. They take effect this Friday. And he's threatening additional tariffs on China, on Chinese imports. He'll announce something on Thursday or Friday this week. So that's challenge number one. Another regulatory headwind is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission has a proceeding involving MOPR, Modified Offer Price Rule, that puts a minimum price on the amount that electricity can be offered for in organized markets. And there is some risk that however, FERC may decide that in a way that could undermine the legal underpinnings for renewable portfolio standards at the state level. Those are the short-term challenges. Next is the solar industry is facing a cliff at the end of 2019 to start remaining projects to qualify for full tax credits. There will be a shortage of construction contractors, vendors, everything you need to start construction. People need to plan ahead. Another risk is the phase out of the tax credits. They start phasing out after 2019 and the economics will become less compelling. Returns are very low at the moment in the solar market. You hear some CEOs saying this is a good year to go to the beach and wait until returns increase again. Another challenge is just the transformation the power industry is going through. You have storage taking hold much more rapidly than anyone expected. There will come a time fairly soon when it's not enough just to have a solar project. You also have to have the ability to store the electricity and supply it when the utility wants it. This is a new area that solar companies will have to manage, understand very quickly to remain competitive. I think those are the main things. In the solar industry, the barriers to entry have always been very low, and this has been a challenge in itself. At the same time, to get a large utility scale solar project going, you need a fair amount of money. It's gone are the days when two guys in an Avis card could go out and seed projects because the utilities don't want these projects, potential projects, hanging on to interconnection queue positions. They ask for quite a bit of money to be posted to show the developer is serious. So that's one challenge to being successful, is just how to navigate if you're a small company. For the larger players, just the low returns at the moment are a challenge. How you make money in this business, at least in the current market. There's so much money chasing deals that is driving down returns. People who have money are willing to get lower and lower returns in order to invest it. Will reach a limit sometime later this year, I suspect. But it's driving down returns for the developers as well, and that's a challenge.